So so Peter, can you tell me about your last last training? What you gained? Thank you.
Okay. My last trainings are on the JavaScript, right?
Yes.
Okay. I read about the JavaScript. So
Hello, Peter. Can you speak up? Hello, Peter. Please speak up.
okay, I'm sorry, sir. Hello, sir. I'm sorry, sir. My sound was turned
Okay.
off. So what I was saying is JavaScript programs the behavior of the web page. Then I read more like JavaScript. It does a lot of things, and I did some little coding on it. Like so, then what more I read on it was that JavaScript it can be placed in the head section, it can be placed in the body section, then it can be placed even in another file, just like we used to place our CSS. Like just like we have CSS that maybe we open a form.css. There's also a form we can open .js. That's the JavaScript. That's the things I read on it. Then other things I read on it is that it's like what I said, it programs the behavior of a web page. Then other things I read also was that you can perform arithmetic. I think we did that the last class. You can perform arithmetic with it. Those are just the things I read about JavaScript. Then you told us to on hierarchies of CSS. That was the second. Okay, you gave us three assignments. The third is function in programming. And the second assignment is hierarchies of CSS. So the hierarchies, when I read about that also. Under the hierarchies, we have the element selector, we have the ID selector, we have the class selector, we have the universal selector, and we have the element selector. Now we've done it. We are in our programming. We've talked about the element selector. Element selector is just picking a particular. Okay, let's say we are working on a paragraph, like picking a particular paragraph and styling it in our CSS. That's just the elements selector. Then the ID selector, we use the hashtag to call. Okay, we use the hashtag, and this is how it is done in our HTML. We will just name it maybe ID equals to this. If we say ID equals to Peter, then in our CSS we will call it by saying hash Peter. Then we style it that way. That's just about the ID. Then we have the class. The class, we use the full stop to call it in our CSS. Then we have okay, I also mentioned group selector. Group selector is if we are using our header, maybe we are using H1, H2. Maybe we wrote all our codes and we have H1. Now, if we want to do group, if we go to our CSS and write H1 and define it, that means every part that we have H1 in our HTML, maybe we give it a color red. Every part we have our H1 that we use a header H1, everything will be colored red. That's the group selector. And what I read about it, that the most important first is the ID. The most top priority is the ID selector. That's the things I read about it. Then I also read about function programming. So what I read about function programming, that it says that it's a standalone program to perform a particular task, and it can be called upon anywhere. That's just it, such that the function programming can be called upon anywhere in the program. I think at the last class we talked about it where we used the on something in our code, and we now it in the header section. So that's just the things I read about our assignment, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. I really gained from everything you said. That is so fantastic and fascinating. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Peter, um, Thompson, please can you speak up? Let me know what you've gained. Thank you. Thompson, can you hear me? Hello, Thompson. Okay, I'm going to continue, and I'm going to. Do you have any code? Did you write any code, Peter?
And codes on my JavaScript. Should I on JavaScript, sir?
Yes, please share
Should
your screen.
I?
Please share your
Okay.
screen. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, sir, can you see my screen, sir?
I can see your screen, but there's an issue with going online. You need to expand your text. So once it's expanded very well, then it goes smoothly.
Hello.
Yeah, Eric, I want to ask you a question. Please, can you wait? Did you gain from the last class, the assignment I gave you? Can you speak towards it? What have you done?
Okay, from the last one, like I said, the what's it called? That's JavaScript. I've not done a lot on it. Actually, I tried to, but I was not understanding it, which I explained to you. I tried to read about it. I watched some video. I saw,
See,
but I was not
Eric, what I said
getting
is
it at
just
all.
read about it. You don't need to cram it. I told you when you're coding, you don't need to cram. Cramming when you're coding is not allowed. So you don't need to cram. Anybody that
No,
crams in
no,
coding,
no.
hold
Like
on,
I
hold
didn't
on,
mean like crime.
hold on,
What I
Thompson.
said was
Hold
I
on,
didn't
Thompson.
understand
I
it.
know you did not understand it, but I said just read about it. So whatever you know, whatever you can see, oh, JavaScript is this is what I read. You can hold your book and just read it out. This is what I read. Oh, this is function. This is what I read. If you listen to what Peter said, he just said it. And Sheriff, it has been a long time. What happened? Are you fine? Okay, so Thompson, whatever you can say, just say it out. Thank you.
Huh?
Whatever you can say, just say it out concerning the assignment I gave you. Thank you.
Yeah, the assignment you gave us was on Java. The one you gave us last was on JavaScript. You asked us to read about JavaScript and what is function in what the and its function in programming. That's what I'm saying. I said I read it. Yes.
One or two things. You
I
need to say one or two things. If you read it, you write it down.
sir.
Read from your book. Okay, now read from your book. If you read it, read from your book and read it out.
I should read.
Yes, from your book and read it out.
Okay, let me get my book.
Thank you so much. So, Peter, please share your screen. So, when you're done presenting what you've done, just expand zoom your phone so that we can see and know more, so that we can see it very well. So, Peter presents. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can see your screen, but can you expand the font of your code? Expand the font.
Okay. I'm looking at how I can do that. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen now, sir?
Very well, very well. Thank you so much.
Okay. So this this was our last class. So now at the got up and on click. This is the on click, meaning that when we click the button, it should aim is Monday because today is Monday. Now this alert, this is the function. Like I explained from the what you see from our assignment. What I understand about function is like number one first, it's a standalone. It's a standalone. Okay, it's a block of code that executes a standalone code, such that we can call it in anywhere in our code. So now, if we now on click, such that when we click our button, bring us that it should first tell us that my name is Monday because today is Monday, and do this calculation. We have that the var first name, the variable first name is 10, the variable last name is 20, and the variable sum should be first name plus last name. So it should now tell us like what this JavaScript is telling us that it should do the calculations. That's just it. So if I have something like this, then when I click the process, this is the first. My name is Monday because today is Monday. When I click OK again, it should bring the sum of the arithmetic operation is 30. That's that. Then I wrote be that it is all right. Answer two, my name is Peter. Answer three is a student of the test tech. So now I called it saying my document by ID. My ID was demo. It's still here. So such that what I said this code should do that display the first answer, break it, display the second answer, break it, and put the third answer there. When I run it, this is what it gave me. It said it is all right. My name is Peter. It's a student of the test tech. So that's what I wrote, sir. To tell me what the time is. This is what this code is all about. So let me run. So this is it. When I click the button, because this is the button, it says the time is. When I click it, it now brought Wednesday, September 20. This. So that's that, sir.
I'm so happy what you've done. Please, yes, I'm applauding you, Peter. I'm so happy because number one, today I wrote a code. I built an application today, and then I did UI UX. I looked at the functionality, and then I was able to build a little bit of application today, and I hosted it. It was working fine. Though I've not connected it to the backend database. I think I'm going to connect it, let's say, before the end of this week. And then I actually use document.get element by ID document. I did my research. I said I don't want to use this method again. And many people want to use this method, this beginner, and I use another method today. And I will not say it, but I use another method. And I wrote, instead of writing the lines like in 50 lines, I wrote it using just 12 lines. You get to a stage,
Wow.
yes, you improve yourself in programming. That's why when I give you tasks to do something, I know what I'm talking about. So if you do not do it, and Peter can do it, then please, you need to sync with Peter to understand. Thank you so much. I gain a lot from you, what you did today. And you went further to add some other things to it. And that shows that you want to improve. I'm so happy for that. So today, I'm going to introduce CSS Grid. That's why it's being recorded, CSS Grid. And I'm not going to do magic. I'm going to share my screen. And so I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to take you through what of CSS Grid. So CSS Grid.
Sorry, hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah, Thompson. I've not moved to JavaScript like, okay, we have gone to JavaScript. I just branched to JavaScript. Like, okay, let us do this JavaScript. And one thing about branching to different parts is that it gets you prepared. Now, when we move down to that place fully, it won't be strange to you. You're already learning about it ahead of time. Okay. So with that, you're getting your hands dirty. That's what they say, get your hands dirty with codes. Yeah. So I'm not saying
Okay,
like
sir.
your hand is dirty, but get your hands into it. Put your hands into it. You get better by putting your hands into it. So the more you implement it, the more you see changes. The more you implement it, the more you see changes. The more you implement it, the more you see changes. If you did not do that, you'll be stationed to a spot. And people that I train, I tell them be flexible, be creative, learn new things. It makes you more better. Are you with me? So, so I'll move into CSS grid. Let me know if you can see CSS grid layout. Is that okay?
Yes, you can see that.
Okay. So there's this layout, and when I'm building my website, you have the header, you have the menu. The reason why I'm making you to see because when I'm through, I want you to go to that same W3 school. And what the way this is how Mr. Ezra did it. He used W3 school. He used grade intro. The way I did it, just go there, watch this video, and you'll be able to implement it the same way. I don't want you to look like it's magic or it's rocket science. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have the header, we have the menu, we have the main, we have the right, we have the footer. So how is it written? Now you click try it yourself. So Thompson, remember what I told you? How will you remember? How will you know that? What CSS selector is this? Dot item one. I think you need to start watching the videos again and again. Is that okay, Thompson? Now, I said when you see a full stop, what does that mean in CSS? Full stop.
It's a class selector, sir.
Thank you. Class select. And I explained it in the last class. It's a class selector. So, and Thompson, I was like this before. I will not lie. When they tell me some things, I will try to do it again and again and again and again and again. Oh, okay, your network went off. But I was like that before.
Yes, sir.
I was like that before. I was like that before. That when they tell me something, I have to do it again and again and again. We are not 100% just perfect in everything, getting things right. Is that okay, Thompson? So don't feel like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm on you or hard on you. Yeah, I was like that. You know, they'll tell me Israel
Yes, sir. Sure.
when I was doing jQuery. This is how you represent ID. This is how you represent class. I'll forget it. Oh, how do you do this thing? I'll forget it. How do you concatenate? I'll forget it. So I had to start writing it down, going through it in the morning, go through it in the afternoon, go through it in the night. So I get better in it. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, take note of this. I told you when you see a full stop in CS, what does that mean? Peter said it. Peter, please, can you tell him?
It's a class selector.
CSS is a class
Is it
selector.
on under? Is
Anytime
it
it's
under style?
yes, style. This is what in what
Okay.
internal style. See when you see the head section.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. So don't feel pressurized. This is very easy to do. Don't feel pressurized. Just calm down. Yeah, breathe in and breathe out. Just calm down. So when you see a full stop, that's class. Item one, right? Full stop, item four. So when now take note of this item one, two, three, four, five. Take note of this in this code. Can you see? Class, 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 class. So when you see your code, you look at the top. When you want to, there's one thing they call code review, or you want to update the code. You look at the top, you look at the bottom. You don't count the line. You know, when I was learning code, you will be counting the line. You don't count the line. You look at the code. You look at, oh, this one is important. Oh, this one is important. So you look at the important parts. From that, you'll be able to understand the code. How would I know it's important? Sometimes they use color. Sometimes they'll tell you a function. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, this is a tag. So don't worry, when you get to the stage, you understand all these things. Now you have item 1 to item 5, right? You have another class called what? Grid container. Is that not so? Now, so can you see? We have another class called grid container. Now, what selector is this? I said we should read about cell selector. What selector is this? What selector is this? I don't want to tell you. Peter, what selector is this? You know, when I give an
The
assignment, I will always ask.
That means
the
this grid this grid container, this a div is under grid container is greater than.
I know what selector name is this. Okay, don't worry. I stand to be corrected. So they call some, see, let me see,
Yes, sir.
so they call them descendant selector. So the following selector, no, let me see. Child selector, sorry. Can I say child selector?
Good evening. Can you?
Okay, I can hear you,
we
but
can hear you.
faintly.
Good evening, sir. I'm having a poor network here.
No problem, no problem,
I've been out.
no
I've
problem, no problem. You can watch us on
so
YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Yes. Go
sure,
through my
sir.
WhatsApp
I'm
status,
still following.
wide for you to use as you want to use it. There's attribute selectors. So a lot of them are there. So all those things are what's very, very, very what important for you to read and know them. But don't cram it. Why? Because when you miss it, you can actually go to internet and just check it out. Are you with me? So this is what they call it the child selector. Though actually I did a mistake, I was calling it descendant selector. So you can see we might forget some things, but we have the internet to remind us. So we have what's the child selector. Now, take a look of this code. Now take note of this. There's a div with the class what's a grid container. And see, this is the closing of the div. The inside the div is what? Another div having what? An header, menu, main, right, footer. Now the question is, this is just a code. How did they now move and they what turn to this format? Now take note of it. I'm going to what? Create, like just copy this guy. Instead of copying it, right? So this is the 4. Okay, today is the 4. This is your code. But don't worry. I'll just call it index4.html, right? Index4 document. So this is it, right? So I'm going to run it. You already know what's going to happen because you guys are professional to some level now, and I'm happy about that. So with that, can you see the grid layout? Nothing, nothing is shown. But we'll take note of the class. The class started with what? The what? Grid container. But we adjust it. As I say, you need to be creative. Grid container. Why did I do that? Because I want to pick it at once. Why?
Hello, sir. We can't see anything.
You can't see anything? Oh, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Just hold on. Okay, let me get. But you can see my code. Can you see my code?
No, no, sir.
But you can see me moving the mouse, right?
Yes, we can see that one now. Yes.
Okay. Now what about the code? Can you see the code?
Yes, we can see it now. Yes, we can
Okay.
see it now.
Sorry about that. Maybe I was fast. Thank you so much for letting me. Now you can see there is no changes at all. Why is there no changes? Or why is there no changes? There's something I did.
We don't know how you get to this place. We don't
I,
like we've
I
not
was so
seen all this
fast.
place. We didn't see
Okay.
all this place.
What about this HTML part? Did you see it?
Yes, we saw
Yes,
that.
this is the only place we saw.
Okay, now. So now I went back to my CSS. Okay, hold on. Let me just move this CSS. Okay, on the same tab. Did you see this part?
Yes, sir, we saw this part.
Now, so I copied, the style, for internal style, it's always at the edge section. So this is the beginning of the style. This is the ending of the style. Is that not so?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Since this is the ending and this is the beginning of the style, now I'll just pack everything from the beginning, and then Jesus is the beginning and the end, the first and the last, the alpha and the omega. So I'll just copy it, right? And then I'll go to my code. Since I created was the external CSS, I went there. I'll just copy this guy, delete this guy, and I just paste it there. So they use internal style for their own, but I'm using what? External style. Now, but when we check the output, let me see the output. Are we getting the same thing? Is there any
Sir.
changes? Can you see?
No, sir.
No,
Now,
sir.
why is there no changes? Why? I did something.
Sir, did you link it to the CSS?
Yes, this is. I link it to the CSS. I did
Oh,
something. See now, when you click on it, it takes you back there. I did a
okay.
change. I made a change. So I want you to just be aware of the changes. I made one change and I said it in this place.
What you said is you changed the grid container.
Oh, fantastic, Peter. Thank you, Thompson, for being in this place to learn. And I'm here to learn too. Peter, thank you for understanding this 19-degree container, and Sheriff too. So anywhere I'm seeing grid container, I will take it out and I'll replace it with the one I change. Anywhere I see this grid container, I'll take it out and replace it with the one I change. Is that not so? So I'll go back to,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So, Ramin, just one line of code can scatter millions of code. Just one line. So, the reason why this is looking simpler is because you are here to learn, and I'm here to learn from you guys. Is that okay? So, we learn from each other. So, now, after this aspect, now I can want to change it. Now, let's take note of the code. This is the HTML part. Is that also? We just created a div,
Yes, sir.
and inside the div, we created another div. And we have the header, the menu, main, right, footer, right? Then after that, right, we have the what? So now created all those elements, header, every one of them. Item 1 is header, 2 menu, 3 is main, 4 is right, 5 is footer, right? So now the same details are hidden. Why you share your screen? Share. Okay. So now grid container. Now see, now there's one thing that we implemented in our CSS. We call it grid area. So now take note of this. I'm going to explain what grid area is. So in this class is calling what grid area. So the grid area is what? The area for what? Year to year for this div. Take notes. This is what grid area to. So it's grid area is from year to year for men. Now, grid area for what? Right? Right? This right. So it's from year to year. Footer to from year to year. Now let's go back and see the output. See header, see main, see right, see footer, see main. So it's taking the div Are you with me? Now, how will I know that
Yes, sir.
it's taking the div? Now, we have item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are different, what, what do you call it? Um, what, what will I call it? They are different class names. Is that also? Now, we can use background
Yes, sir.
color to know the differences, right? So we have div, right? Item 1, div, item 2, div. So we can just say, okay, let me just modernize this code. I'll copy this same item class. I want to modernize the code. Then I can put a comment. I want to do what they call programming. See, I want to add the what background color, right? To
Yes, sir.
the grid. They call them grid items. So let me explain the difference between grid container and grid items. You know, a container is what you use to pack your goods. Is that also? Like now, if you have a what do you call it, a picnic, you just bought the container, and in that picnic, you have your goods. You have a milk inside. Is that also? So you know that if water pours into that milk, right, it becomes solid. Some parts are solid, some are not solid. So each of those that are solid and are not solid, right? Those solid part pieces, right? You can now take them to put this item 1, item 2, item 3. You place them there. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So now these are now the items inside the picnic that are solid. Now water has what entered into. Now, so we now change it to what? To background color, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have the background color. So I want to give them different kind of background color. I might say red, right? Blue, right? I might say blue, violet, right? I might say violet. I might say orange. Is that also?
Yes, sir.
Now, so those are the CSS that we just implemented. Now, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is it. Now, there's one thing that is causing the background not to show. Why? Because of all this
The background color.
background color. There's no code reads from top to down. So it has a background color here. It has a background color here. So I'm trying to comment them. Now let's check it again. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So you can now understand what I explained, that they are different div.
Yes, sir.
So now with that modernization, so I'm going to leave it like that. So now, since we have this grid container, we have the header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll go back to our CSS. Take note of it. We have what they call it grid container. So the display is now what? Grid. Why? Because you are dealing with a grid container. So the display you want to be is a grid. Each of those picnic that are containers that in, they are grid. Is that also? When you put them
Yes,
inside
sir.
different containers, right? So they have their own containers too. So life is a grid. Our body too is a grid. If you look at our head, we have our eyes, right? We have what
Yes,
our
sir.
nose, we have our mouth, right? We have our ears. All of them are what grids. Now, grid template area. Now, with the grid template area, now take note of it. So, because of the grid template area, is like in this grid, what it contains are areas. Is that also? So, with those areas, we
Yes.
have the header. So, as I place the header, it increases it. So now, how does it increase? That is the grid container. In this container, the first thing we must put what are headers. So if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headers we put there. Each headers are what items. So I'm putting 6 below items at the front. Is that also? Then after it, I'm putting what a menu. Take note of it. So we're going to know why it's like that. A menu. After a menu, we put main, main, main. Take note of it. Then we have right, right. So we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count this one to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count your footer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm saying the gap between them should be what 10 pixels, right? So the gap between each of them, between header. Now if I want to know the usefulness of the gap, I will increase it to what? 100 pixels. Can you see?
Okay, sir.
So this is what we call debugging of code to understand more about coding. Now, so I might say padding. What's padding? I don't understand padding. Let me give it 100 pixels. Now, can you see padding?
Okay, sir.
Padding is for the outside. It's not for the inside of the code. Padding is for the what? And not for the inside of the code. So padding is for the outside, not for the inside of the code. So I think we need to, sorry, it's for the outside and not for the inside of the code. So with that, it's, let me know if you can see my screen. It's for the outside and not for the inside of the code. So with that, so the outside has what 100 pixels of padding. The inside has what 100 pixels of padding. So you can now understand, sorry, of grid gap, the grid gap. So you can now understand the difference between them. So now I'm going to what move to the grid containers. Now the div, this is the child, this is div, right? So test align is what center. So I'm saying each test, the name that were written in those in the div, that's the children, are what should be what at the center. Can you see it?
Yes,
Now
sir.
also padding. Padding is inside of each of them. We should have what a 20 pixels. Now take note of this. I want to increase it to 50 pixels. Now, can you see how bigger it is? This
Yes,
each
sir.
of them they are bigger. So now, now take note of the font size. I want to reduce it. I want to reduce it to 5 pixels. Right?
Yes, sir.
Can you see it? Can you
Yes,
see?
sir.
Ah, you can see
No,
it. Ah,
no, I cannot see it.
thank you. So now I want to increase it now to 50 pixels. Now, can you see how bigger
Okay.
it is?
Yes, you can see it right now. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Okay?
Go back to the code, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's the function of this? The child, the descendants, about the child tag.
Okay. Take note of it. Each of them
Okay.
are what are classes inside
Yes.
the container. So
Yes, sir.
what happens is that okay, if it's a grid, if I put items into that grid, like now, see if I expand it, see header. If I expand
Yes,
it,
sir.
put another header, see what is going to happen. It will look unbalanced.
Okay.
Let me refresh it. So can you see it looked unbalanced?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That just disappeared. The footer just appeared, the rest disappeared. It looked unbalanced. Now it has to be, can you see? Now take note of this. If I move, this is the footer, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm placing it here. Now, this is the menu. I'm placing it here. This is the header. I'm placing it here. I save it. Now, all we are seeing is the footer.
Yes, sir.
Why are we seeing the footer? Let's try and reduce it. Now, the gap between them, 10 pixels, 10 pixels, right? So the font size, 5 pixels. So the padding, 5 pixels. Let's align center. Now, everything done. But see, we are still seeing the footer. So I need you to check this out. Like, okay, why are we still seeing the footer? The display is grid, and we are still seeing only footer. Why is it that only footer we are seeing? Now we are going to debug it. I don't know it all. I'm just learning. So we debug it, right? So I'll save it. Now, okay, I have to put a semicolon here. The semicolon important in some coding. See, I'm still staying footer. Why is it that I'm seeing only footer? And what I've debugged footer. Okay, wait. Let me run it again. Sorry. Now, so that shows that this needs to be done. This is the display grid again. This is the header section. I'm saving it. I'll go back. I'm still seeing footer. So why am I still seeing footer? Now, see, I will comment this guy, save it. Again, can you see? So because I comment footer, what's the next thing I show? Let me expand the font size. There's one thing about code, you need to play with code to understand it. And that's what I'm making you to understand. Oh, time has gone. But I'm so happy that I can introduce CSS Grid to you. Now, can you see, right? So all of them are coming, like they are overlapping on each other.
Okay.
The last hierarchy. What did I tell you guys? Okay, let me just comment this guy. I'll stop it. Take note of the next thing. What's showing?
Okay.
The words. Can you see the words, the font size that are there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So now, let me just increase the font size towards 20 pixels. Now, can you see?
Okay. Okay.
So that's the end of today's class. I hope you guys really gain from it. You guys were touched. Next, we see on Monday. I want to give you some tasks, which is read about read more about the CSS grid. Do 3 examples about it. Thompson, learn from Peter how
Only
to, Thompson, please learn from Peter on how to present. Yes, just read about CSS grid. It's very wide. As small as this is very wide. So read more about that JavaScript, Thompson, and see the example that Peter did. Peter, please teach him how you did your example using JavaScript, right?
Okay, sir.
And let him use it and let him
But
present his screen so that he can use his phone to present.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
Thank you. Because Monday, I want to gain from both of you. I want you
Okay,
guys to
sir.
teach me
okay,
CSS grid. Teach me CSS grid.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. And have a nice weekend.
Okay, sir. And you too,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Bye bye, guys.